The S25 Plus is a good phone, but is it the last time that we'll see one of these? Hear me out, because I've got an idea. So I was thinking a lot, what's the purpose of this Edge device coming up? What's the purpose of the S25 Edge? Is it just a novelty device? Is it something that Samsung is testing the waters with to see how people respond to it? Or is it something where they're lining it up to get rid of this guy right here, to where they can find a more attractive way to make basically their mid-tier flagship phone? So the Plus series phones sell the worst out of all three of their phones, whether it's the S24 series, the S23 series. I fully expect the same thing with the S25. Why? Because it's so much more appealing to go to the Ultra. They have the best trade-in deals, and you get the best overall phone. There are always compromises with this one, which a lot of people don't want to compromise on for $1,000. Granted, the S25 Edge will have compromises as well. Smaller battery, 2 cameras, but it's, I think, a more exciting phone. I think they're trying to market as more of a premium segment to an alternative to the Ultra, but it's cool because it's thinner, it's lighter, and all those things. But the Plus series is just not attractive. Let's take a look at the numbers real quick. So by the numbers, the S24 series last year, the S24, the regular S24 sold 12.1 million. The S24 Ultra sold 15.8 million, and then the Galaxy S24 Plus came in a whopping 6.7 million, which is an improvement over the previous year. There was an improvement in all three phone sales over the S23. S23 sales were even worse. So the S24 Plus sold 6.7 million, but the S23 Plus only sold 5.3 million. 5.3 million. So that tells you, when you take a look at these numbers, whenever the S23 is selling twice as many as the Plus, it sold 10.46. When you take a look at the S23 Ultra, it sold 13.56. So each year, we're getting twice as many sales out of the lower model and the Ultra model, and there's just not a whole lot of people really laying around that want this one. So I think Samsung is looking at that and trying to find a way to spruce that up and make it more marketable, trying to make it something more attractive and more exciting. And you see that the Air comes in as well. iPhone is making an iPhone 17 Air, presumably. That's what we're hearing. That's what we're led to believe. Well, what is the lowest selling phone for them? The Plus series. The Plus series for them, at least as far as I know, is not selling very well either. So I think that, one, Apple and Samsung both are trying to find a way to sell this model of phone, or this bracket of phone, because the Ultra clearly sells. It sells the most, and then the regular model, the smaller one, the smaller regular S25, S24, S23, it sells all right too, because people like the smaller phone. But when you go to this one right here, you go to the Plus, and as good as it is, and I know a lot of people that like this phone. I know a lot of people that like the Plus from the S24 last year. And the S24 Plus was a big update because we got the same screen, we got the Quad HD Plus, we got the bigger battery that's almost the same size. So there's not as many trade-offs, and you're not having to pay that $12.99 to get the stylus and the 200 megapixel camera and all that stuff. But it irks people, I think, to pay $1,000 for a phone, and you've got 3-4-year-old cameras in here. There's not been a fundamental change to the body style. It's just not an exciting phone. People gravitate towards a smaller one because it's cheaper and it offers a real alternative. It's a smaller phone. And then the Ultra, well, they always offer better trading credit. They offer the best trading credit, the best deals on the Ultra. They try to sell as many of those as possible. So then it makes it easier to upsell on that phone. If you're like, well, yeah, it is a couple of $100 extra, but if you're going to give me more trading credit, it actually kind of lowers that price and makes it look more attractive. So I think Samsung's having a harder time selling the Plus model, and they're looking for a way to revitalize that. And I think the Edge has something to do with that. I think it has something to do with that for Samsung. I think it has something to do with that for iPhone as well. Why? Because I don't see there being a 4-device roadmap here. I mean, it's a hard enough time trying to sell an Ultra phone every year. It's a hard enough time trying to sell a regular phone every year. Do they really have the bandwidth? Do they really have the audience and the people willing to spend the same amount of money? Because from what we're seeing on the leaks, it looks like it's going to be about $1,000. How much does this phone cost? $1,000. They're both going to be about $999. So who's going to decide? Like, where are they going to split hairs and decide? Am I going to get the Edge? Or am I going to get the regular Plus? Right? So I think it's an interesting perspective to try and take a look at this. And when you see a new phone come out, they want to sell it, right? They want to sell it, but where are they going to lose sales somewhere else? Or where could they cannibalize one of their own products and try and push the sales that way? And I don't think it's unheard of at this point because we saw the special edition with the Fold that launched in China and Korea and it was received very, very well. So I think this is a test bed phone. And I think if it performs well, if they could even sell 2 or 3 million of these phones, I think it would be a solid indicator because people have already bought a lot of the S25 phones that they're going to buy. The pre-orders are huge. That's one of the biggest parts when they go on sale for the year. So if they can look at the data on this and go, okay, even though we already launched the Plus, even though we already launched the Ultra, and people are willing to buy the Edge, and I think there have been people sitting around waiting because we knew about the Edge at the end of the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event, right? I mean, I showed off some pictures of it before. So I think that people have been on the fence about it. I think they want to see what this new Edge model is all about. And I think that also has maybe hurt some of the sales of the regular phones. So I think if they drop this phone next couple of months, we come around to it and go, wow, people actually want this phone. They want a slimmer phone. They want a mid-size, kind of full-size phone that has a better camera system and a couple other nice variables that go along with it. Surely, maybe that might be an exit strategy to get rid of this, make you feel like you're getting a more premium phone. And it's also a hard sell too. Because when you look at it and go, okay, $999, but it's got 2 cameras. This one has 3 cameras. This one has a bigger battery. And then they compete even more closely. So I don't know that there's really enough room in the lineup to occupy both of those spaces unless this is just a one-off to compete with Apple. But I don't think that a lot of people are looking at it going, okay, should I get the iPhone Slim or should I get the Samsung Galaxy Edge, right? I don't think there's a lot of bleeding over between those two categories, whether you're getting an iPhone or get a Samsung phone. So it'll be curious to see what happens. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the phone. I always like seeing a new device. I talked about this the other day. I think it's exciting. I think it's a great proposition. So it'll be interesting to see what we get with this and then how it's received by the audience, how it's received by the target market, and then how that might influence the device strategy moving forward. We know that Samsung is not afraid to cannibalize one model and push it to another model. They did that with the Note. The Note really wasn't selling well. It was only selling like 5-6 million units. And they said, okay, we'll take that and combine it with the Ultra. And then the Ultra got a boost in sales. So maybe what they'll do next year is they'll launch an S26, S26 Ultra, wait a couple of months, and then bam, launch the Edge so they can get more continuous sales throughout the year. And then when the summer comes around, bam, you go ahead and get the Fold and the Flip. And those are getting some big drastic changes to them too. Saw some more leaks the other day. It looks like the Z Flip 7 is going to have that full screen, front screen panel, just like the Motorola Edge does. And then the Fold looks like it's going to be more modeled closely after that Fold SE that launched overseas. That had a bigger screen. It was thinner and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things to look at in the Samsung Galaxy roadmap as we push forward and move into this year. And it'll be interesting to see how the landscape is impacted for sales, also as far as, the stratification of their phones, who buys them, and all that jazz. But I think it's cool. I think that a lot of companies right now are looking for a way to break the mold. I think that AI helped a little bit last year, but I think it's a little bit lackluster this year as far as maybe some underwhelming advancements and developments. And it's one of those things where they still have yet to find that it factor whenever it comes to the software side of things with AI. So maybe they're trying to find a Goldilocks version of a phone that they can finally get people to rally around, because there are a lot of people who don't want an Ultra, but they don't want this because they don't feel like this is premium enough, but they don't want to pay the $12.99 to get the Ultra because they don't want a Note. They don't care about the stylus. So why should you have to pay for those extra things that you don't want? And I think that this new Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge might be a solution for that, and maybe it's got an audience already waiting for it. But who knows? We'll find out soon enough. Just some thought process I had there. Let me know what you think. Do you think that they could kill off the Plus? Or do you think that the Plus is still viable, they should keep it, and we should roll with all 4 phones? Sound off in the comment section. We'll discuss it. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all those things, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.